Hi, hello everybody. Welcome back. My name is Alyssa, and I know last week I did not put a video up. The previous week I was in Oregon, and I had told you guys about that, which was why I did my March wrap up early. And then we got in Saturday morning, and I had to run some errands. And then Sunday I had to run more errands, and then Sunday evening I was able to relax, and then Monday I worked and Tuesday I worked. And so I was just like, I don't have any energy in me to film a video. And then on top of that, if you guys can't hear it, I am apparently sick or something. I have been taking medicine all week, and it definitely feels like it's definitely a sickness of some sort. I'm very short of breath. I feel hot all the time. I have the worst nasal congestion ever. So, it's just been a nightmare. And honestly, I don't know if I got sick because of the weather changes from Oregon to California, or if somebody was sick in the train. I know a lady did throw up on the train, but I don't know if that was due to her being sick or like being motion sick, So, somehow or another, between coming home Saturday morning to about Monday morning, I got sick with something. So it's been great. And so that's why there was no video this last week, the week that I got back, because I didn't have it in me. And I've been trying to struggle to figure out what to do for this coming week. And I actually have decided this is going to be kind of like a reading vlog kind of thing. We're going to test out for the first time finally. And that's just because I went to the library because I had to pick up a book. And then I decided to browse, and I picked up more books. And so I'm going to share with you guys what books I got from the library. And then as I read these, I will check in and update you guys and everything. See how many of them I get read before this goes up next Wednesday. So the following Wednesday. So we shall see how many of these I get read. And hopefully by the end of this month, I'm hoping to do a book haul. And it'll be books that I've acquired since January. I was going to do one when I got back, but I have 3 or 4 books that are currently in route to my house via shipping. And so I'd rather just wait till those ones get here so that I can get those and have those be part of the book haul. So look forward to that at the end of the month, a big book haul from January till the end of April. Now, anyways, let's talk about the books that I picked up from my local library. Let me take that out because I don't need you guys knowing my whole name. And this is the one that I had put on hold. This is Hecate, the Witch by Nikita Gill. And this was the one I put on hold, and it's because I found out that it's written in verse. And I found that out through TikTok because some girl on TikTok was like, ew, why is this book written like this? And everybody had to educate her on what written in verse means. It was quite interesting, but I had no idea it was written that way. I'd heard of the book, I knew of its existence, but I didn't know it was written in verse. And so that really just intrigued me, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta get that. And so I put it on hold with the library before I left for Oregon, and then while I was in Oregon it came in, and so today was the last day that I had before I could pick it up, before they put it back on the shelf. So I went and grabbed that. So that's definitely one that I'm looking forward to. And then while I was there, I obviously decided to look around and see what else there was, and I picked up a couple other books, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what those are too. So first up, we have Moth Eater by Linda H. Kodega, I think that's how it's pronounced, and this is a queer fantasy set in the Appalachian Mountains, and it follows the main character is investigating why people keep dying in the coal mines and everything, and a white woman, and that's how it's described in here. It's described as literally, and when she finds a half-drowned white woman in the dirty mine slough, Benny takes her in because it's right, but she also hopes this odd magnetic stranger can lead her to the proof she needs. This is how I know I'm sick, because I'm struggling to read out loud. But it sounded interesting. I know I've heard of it before, and this woman that she finds, the only thing she can seem to remember is that her name is Moth Eater. But I'm very interested. I'm honestly interested in the Appalachian background setting of this. I just find the Appalachian to be quite interesting, so I'm really hoping that this will be good. I feel like I'm hoping it has like that gothic vibe to it. So yeah, I don't know when in the scheme of reading all these is going to happen, but I am like pretty interested in this one. Then I picked up A Land So Wide by Aaron A. Craig. This one takes place in a little town called Mistaken that is in the Canadian wilderness. And there are these standing stones, and in those standing stones area there's monsters, and the man she loves goes missing, and so she has to try and find them. And as she's like trying to find him, things start to unravel about the town of Mistaken, as well as her heritage and all of that kind of stuff. And so I've heard some pretty decent, interesting things about it. I do know a lot of people put it in the gothic wheelhouse, which was why I decided to grab it, because I am very much loving the gothic genre and everything. So definitely hoping this one will be interesting. I also kind of like really like that cover. Like, I'm not a big fan of covers where it's just like the title, but I don't know. The trees, the rain, the bats, like, I don't know. It's got a vibe to it, you know? Then I also picked up Hemlock Island by Kelly Armstrong. This one follows a woman who rents out her home on Hemlock Island to renters, and it gives her panic attacks and all that other stuff. You know, she's like, it's evasion of privacy. And one incident ends up creating some very interesting things like blood and nails on the walls and hex circles and all this other kind of very scary horror stuff, and she has to go there to investigate and figure out what's going on. So it sounds interesting. It doesn't seem too long, so I'm hoping that it'll be one of those ones that will read pretty quickly. It definitely sounds like it might be one of those ones where it just kind of like instantly kind of like starts into it, just like based off of the synopsis. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what's going on Hemlock Island, you know? Then I picked up The Society of Unknowable Objects by Gareth Brown. I'm going to go into this one blind. I'm not going to read the synopsis. I read his other book, The Book of Doors, and absolutely loved it. It was a 5-star read for me. And so I have a lot of faith that this one will end up being really good as well. But like I said, I'm going to go into it blind, so I'm not going to give you guys any kind of synopsis about it, because when I read The Book of Doors, I went into that one blind. I had received that one from Goldsboro. I think it was like one of the last books I received from them before I canceled my subscription. But I went into it blind and I fell in love with it, and so I want to do the same with this one. But I do have a lot of faith that it'll end up being really, really good. This next one I grabbed is The Carol Haunt by Darcy Coates. So the main reason I grabbed this is because whenever I go to Barnes & Noble, I see hundreds of Darcy Coates books. Like, my local Barnes & Noble, their horror section is Stephen King, Dean Koontz, and then Darcy Coates, and then some random stuff. Like, she has so many books, and I've always been curious, are her books good, or is she just one of those ones who can pump out a lot of books in a short period of time, and they're just kind of like mediocre? And this was the only one that my library had on the shelves at the time, and so I was like, you know what, let's go ahead, let's grab it, let's give it a try, we'll see if she's worth like all of these books, you know, see what that's gonna be like. This one, I believe, follows a seance that goes wrong. A seance that goes wrong and someone ends up dead, and there's an investigation and all that other stuff. So we'll see. It is definitely more of just like an intrigue kind of thing, because I've seen her name around so often. And then the last book I grabbed was Lost Boys of Barlow Theater by Jamie Jo Wright. If you had watched my channel last year, you will know that I picked up a Jamie Jo Wright book last year because my local library had this like gothic display going on, and one of her books was on there. I also learned that she does write Christian fiction, but it's more so, it's not like she's pushing an agenda. It's more just kind of like her characters, they believe in God. And so it didn't bother me like in the last book that I read by her, which I can't remember the name of right now. It only really bothered me towards the end because it got kind of heavy with the whole like God will save me and God will protect me and like that kind of silly kind of nonsense stuff to me. But for the rest of the book, I actually found it like a very good book, very well written. Like she has a very easy to read writing style. And so I had looked into some of the other books she had, and this was one that I found kind of like pretty interesting, and my library had it. They had another one by her too, the Hill on the Foxglove Manor on the Hill or something like that. But I went with this one. It is about a bunch of boys that keep going missing in a theater. And I did notice her books seem to have this style where it follows two timelines, one in an early timeline and one in a current timeline, because that's what the last one did. That's what this one does. That's what the other one at the library did, which I did not grab. But I wanted to read another one by her to see if maybe that one book I read by her was maybe a fluke and that was why I liked it, or if she does actually just have books that are interesting to me. They just always will have like that one tiny element that will like probably bother me, but I can easily ignore that. But I do find the idea of this one pretty interesting. It's, like I said, it's a theater that in one timeline the elder brother dies and then the younger brother goes into it, and like the sister is kind of like stuck in the middle. And then in the current timeline, boy goes missing because of this theater. And so I just kind of want to know what the mystery is around this theater, and why all these boys keep going missing at the Barlow Theater. It sounds interesting. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I can ignore the Christian elements that are going to be thrown into it, because I've already been experienced with how she puts her Christian stuff in there. Like I said, I don't feel like she's like pushing an agenda or anything. I think she's just trying to like make it as like part of the background of her characters to make them like, you know, believe in God or whatever, which is totally fine. But I also do want to see if like maybe that book I read was just a fluke. You know, for all I know, this could end up being terrible. Who knows? But these are all of the books that I got from the library. And so this is going to be like a little reading blog kind of thing to see how many of these I get through up until next Wednesday. I am currently in the middle of 2 fantasy books right now. I am reading The Blood of the Four and The Mountains of Majipur. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, you know. I do have these for 20 days. My library is very, very gracious with their rental times, and considering these were all available like instantly on the shelf except for Hecate, I probably will be able to renew them if I need to. So I'm not too worried, but yeah, I have until the 30th to return these. So we'll see how many of these I get read through this next couple of days. Because I said today's Thursday, I do work today. But we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday night. So in the next 5 days, we'll see what I can get read, because my videos go up on Wednesdays. So we shall see. I do work Friday morning, but then I have Friday evening off, and I work 4 hours in the morning on Saturday, and then my Sunday is off. So we shall see. And I do believe my daughter is home this weekend, which means if she is, there will be no video gaming, because the video game system's in her bedroom. And she will be in her bedroom. So I probably won't be playing my game this weekend if she is home with me. I don't know if her dad's going to want her to go to his place, because she was with me in Oregon, but we'll see. But yeah, so I think I have plenty of time. Like I said, it's not like a rush to read these or anything. I just want to see what I can get read, and who knows, maybe this will turn into like a 2-week blog or something, and I'll end up just continuing into the next week. Who knows? But yeah, that's what's going on right now. So if you guys have read any of these, definitely let me know. But as like you guys are watching the video and everything. But yeah, hopefully this little blog goes over well. So this is the first update, and I have completely finished Hecate. I actually just finished it. I did not
record any updates while reading it because I just did not want to stop. I read 30% of it on Friday night. I don't know. I think it was Friday night. I read 30% of it, then went to sleep, went to work the next, maybe it was Thursday night. I don't know. I read 30%, went to sleep, went to work the next morning, came home, and finished reading it. It was that good. It was that good. There's a couple of minor things that I didn't really care for. But other than that, I found this absolutely beautiful. Definitely brought me to tears a couple of times. Definitely just kept me absolutely hooked. Like, I could not put it down. It read so quickly, and part of that you can contribute to the fact that it's written in verse, but it's also just that compelling. And because it's written in verse, it stays on point. There's no like unnecessary filter going on and filler and everything. Like, Nikita builds the world just perfectly through the eyes of Hecate, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. There are a lot of powerful verses in here too that I really, really loved, but overall, absolutely beautiful. Definitely recommend it. There is supposed to be a follow-up called Sticks. So, and that's supposed to come out, I think, late September this year. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Definitely will be on my radar. I'm actually so glad that, some random girl on TikTok was like, ew, why is it written like this? And I was like, oh my God, because I never would have known. It wasn't on my radar because I haven't been too impressed with some of the recent Greek mythology books that have come out, focusing on the the goddesses and such. So I am glad that I came across that TikTok because this ended up being so good. And now that I am done reading that, I also finished the other fantasy book that I had been reading, The Mountains of Madripoor. That was a ride. That book was a ride. I will have more information about that later, but that was a ride for sure. I do not know which one I'm going to pick up next from all of those library books. I haven't like fully decided yet. I'm like looking at the pile down there, but they're not like facing me or anything. I might pick up the Hemlock Island one, just because, I don't know, a little mystery sounds kind of interesting right now, but I'm not positive. So the next update will definitely be me letting you know which one I've read. So since I've gone to the library, I've read one of these library books so far. So I guess we will see when this video goes up next Wednesday how many I will get through, because the weekend is coming and I only work 4 hours at work on Saturday, and then I have Sunday off, and so I have all of Saturday and all of Sunday to read. And my daughter is home with me this weekend, so there will be not much video game playing going on for me, which means it'll be a pretty full weekend of reading. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next update. Right, hello. This is another check-in video. So the other night I finished Hemlock Island by Kelly Armstrong, and it's like a 2-star for me. Yeah. Honestly, this was kind of insufferable. I switched over to the audiobook to finish getting through it. Honestly, I switched over at like chapter 3. I was like, oh, this is this is gonna be an audiobook book. And so I switched over to the audiobook, and honestly, it focuses so much more on just the drama going on with all the characters in the book. Just, my husband divorced me, but I still love him, and there's me and my best friend aren't friends anymore, and I want to be friends again, and just all this drama. And it's like, and like the author like drags it out. Like, this book is 294 pages, and it felt like 500 pages. Okay, and that's how dragged out this story felt. And I just, like, I got to a point where I was just like, oh my God, can we please, like, finish? And, like, I sped the audiobook up to 2 times speed just to get through it. And then, honestly, what was causing, like, all the deaths and everything, it just, because you spend, like, the entire book dealing with the melodramatic drama of these people and their personal lives, which I do not care about, instead of what's like killing everything on the island. And then when you finally find out what is killing everyone on the island, you're kind of like, oh, oh, okay. And it comes so far at the end of the story that you're just like, oh, okay. So yeah, unfortunately, Hemlock Island did not work out for me, but you know, at least I gave it a try. And now, I also started the Carol Haunt, and honestly, I think I'm just gonna DNF this. I really do. I think I'm just gonna DNF it. Because I'm not interested. I'm not entertained. Now, mind you, I picked this one up because I've seen this author like all over the place. Like I said, like, when you like go to my local Barnes and Noble and go into their horror section, it's Stephen King and then Dean Koontz and then Darcy Coates. And so I was like, what is this Darcy Coates about? Because I also never hear anyone talk about him, and I kind of get it because the book is just like meh. I am 125 pages, and the first like spooky thing happened, and it was just a ghost running in a forest. There's no atmosphere. There's no like real like build up happening to like make me think that something scary is gonna happen. It just kind of just feels really meh. Like I'm not entertained. I don't have like, I'm not like sitting here going, oh my God, I have to pick it back up. Like what happens next? Like I'm just not feeling it. And I don't really care for the cast of characters either. They don't really stand out and pop on the screen or anything. And honestly, the history behind this particular house that's haunted and everything doesn't really seem all that interesting either. And so it's just kind of like I said, like I'm just like meh about it. And so I think I'm just gonna DNF this one. Just because I don't want to like waste my time reading something where I'm just kind of like meh about it. Like, so that's where I'm at with those two. So that's 3 of the, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 of the library books that I picked up. And so far of the 3, I've only liked 1 so far. I still have The Lost Boys of Barlow Theater, The Society of Unknowable Objects, A Land So Wide, and Moth Eater. So, I might try either A Land So Wide or Moth Eater. I don't know. I'm looking for something that's on the spookier side, you know, and I'm kind of disappointed that Hemlock Island didn't work out. And then the Carol Haunt is just kind of proving to just be like a meh kind of story. You know, no atmosphere in that one. So we'll see what these, with, like I said, it's either going to be Moth Eater or A Land So Wide. So fingers crossed, those will be good. I'm saving the Society of Unknowable Objects for last just because it's Gareth Brown and I loved his first book, the Book of Lost Doors. And so I have high hopes that that's going to be a good one, but I'm like purposely saving it for last. That way, if everything in the middle is garbage, I can start on a high note and end on a high note. So that is the update. So I guess we shall see what happens. It's been like storming and stuff here where I'm at. So we've had like lots of thunder and lightning storms and it has been heaven. Because I personally love thunderstorms and lightning storms. My daughter doesn't mind the lightning, but she hates the thunder. But I like, out of between the two, I prefer the thunder. I love the rumbling. So I've actually been in heaven for the past like 2 days. And so I'm definitely enjoying that. But and that's probably what's like making me want to read something like on the spookier side. And I'm not getting it. And that's frustrating. So yeah. So we shall see. Hopefully the next update I will come with good news instead of bad news.
All right, so this is the final check-in for this video. This is all of the library book stuff that I had gotten. So let's go ahead and let's start from the beginning. So I finished Hecate, the Witch by Nikita Gill. Really, really enjoyed this one. I love the fact that it was written in verse, even though like it doesn't come off poetic, but it makes for such a really quick reading experience. And I did really enjoy the way that she portrayed all the characters and everything. And I love the fact that like we touch on her.
Gotcha.
There's a horse.
Huh?
I said there's a horse. I didn't see.
Oh yeah, there is.
It's actually going kind of fast.
I know. I feel like it's faster than like the one that used to be at the mall.
Lonnie. Maya. Alright, so today is the last check-in for this reading vlog, and we're just going to start from the top. So this is just dealing with all of the library books that I just picked up on a whim when I went to only pick up one. So to start out, I finished Hecate, the Witch by Nikita Gill. This one was really good. I really did enjoy this one. It's like a 4.5 kind of read for me. And one of the things that I really liked about this was that she brings into the story other gods that don't normally get brought into them, like Thanatos and Hermes, Chiron. Like we see some other faces, like yes, we see Hades and we see Cerberus, and we get mention of Zeus and all that other stuff, but like it does definitely stay focused on Hecate. I really enjoyed it. I like the fact that it was written in verse because it makes it read really, really quickly. While it doesn't have like that poetic side to the verse, it still gets the point across, and I still very much enjoyed it. I am looking forward to the sequel because I did find out it does have a sequel coming out, so I will be looking forward to that one. So definitely, out of all the ones I've read, that one has been the best that I have read. Because everything else is about to go downhill, guys. So then after that, I read The Hemlock Island, and as you guys had saw earlier in the video, I did not like this. I did not like it at all. I do not like when mystery, horror, thriller kind of stories focus so heavily on everybody's personal lives. I don't care about your personal lives. I care about what supernatural, creepy entity thing is going on. I do not care about the drama, and this one is so heavily bogged down with the drama. And then by the time that you get around to what the reveal is of what's killing everybody on the island, it's like it's all at the very, very end. Feels a little rushed, and also you're just kind of like, oh. For me, it didn't blow me away. But yeah, so definitely not the best. Also, it's only like I think it's like barely 300 pages. Yeah, it's 294 pages, and this felt like 500. That's how slow this was and how bogged down it was by just personal life drama that I didn't sign up for that. I wanted to know what was killing people on the island. And I mean, I learned what was killing people on the island, but I didn't care for it. Then I attempted the Carol Haunt, and if you guys remember from the beginning of the video, I had said I picked this up because I see Darcy Coates all the time. She's got like a ton of books when I go to Barnes & Noble, so I wanted to give her writing a try, and honestly, this could just be the case of the wrong book, but I just found this not interesting. There was no atmosphere. She wasn't like, they were in a spooky haunted house, but like she wasn't like really building on that. She wasn't like creating an atmosphere. Like I got 125 pages, and the first haunting, it took like 120 pages to get that first haunting, and it was like a child running in the forest outside of the house. And I was just kind of like, oh, like, and like so much is like focused on like her telling us what kind of things have happened in this house, but like 125 pages, and like there still hasn't been anything, and this is what, 366 pages. That's a lot of pages to be invested for like nothing to happen yet. And not only that, it was just it something about it was just kind of like dull and boring and mundane at the same time. And so I ended up DNFing it because I wasn't enjoying it. So we're gonna take that away. So as you see, I got to chapter 16. You know, it could, like I said, it could be the case of just a bad book. It could also just be that maybe that's her writing style, you know, and that's why she pumps out so many of them, and they're just like a meh kind of thing. So then after that, this is as far as I got, because I had checked out 7 books. So I got through two of them all the way, DNF'd one, and then I started Moth Eater by Linda H. Kodega, and this is actually, this is an interesting situation with this one, and it is due to the simple fact that I was like, oh, let me grab the audiobook so I can listen to it while I do some cleaning around the house. The audiobook for this is absolute garbage, and it has ruined my interest in the story. I picked this up because it takes place in Appalachia, and you're following a character who's trying to solve why all these people die at the mines, and she thinks that the mining company is behind it and everything, and she ends up rescuing this woman from the water, and she calls herself Moth Eater, you know. And like with Appalachia, you know, there's all kinds of weird, spooky kind of, like, that's the reputation that Appalachia has, that it has this like this supernatural kind of way about it, and that was what I was hoping to get. But listening to the audiobook, it honestly felt like the narrator was making fun of the book. Like the way it's like, it felt like she was making fun of Appalachia, the Appalachian accent, the characters in the story. She was not differentiating between any of her character voices or between her character voice and her narrator voice. It all sounded the same. But just from the get-go, it just immediately just sounded like she was making fun of this book while reading it instead of taking it seriously and actually making it have that darker, gothic, kind of spookier kind of vibe to it. Like, it just felt like she was making fun of it. And I listened to 19% of it before I was finally like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And it's because, like, I wanted to just, like, give her the benefit of the doubt, and maybe, like, it was just a little rough in the beginning, and, you know, I'd get into it. But, like, the more I listened to it, the more it just, like, irritated me, and just felt like she wasn't taking it seriously reading the story. And it even got to a point where, like, I went to my coworker, and I was like, I told her how I was feeling about it, and I was like, can you listen to this? Like, is it me or is it the narrator? And she listened to it for 5 seconds and immediately shut it off. She was like, absolutely not. She's like, that is not okay. It took her a whole 5 seconds to be like, no, absolutely not. She was like, how much of that have you listened to? And I was like, 19%. And she was like, you're insane. And so it has actively made me lose interest in even wanting to physically read the story. So I'm going to return this to the library, and maybe in a couple of months, when what I've listened to has left my brain, I will try again if that interest sparks itself again. But right now, that audiobook actively made me lose interest in wanting to know anything about this story. Not only that, there's a couple other things that I learned about it. It is written by a white lady, and the main character is a black character, which there's nothing wrong with writing someone who is outside of your race. The problem is when you don't do the research to properly create that character and portray that character. And there's just certain elements where sometimes I'm like, this is clearly written by a white lady. Like, it's just the way that she makes the character say certain phrases, certain situations, and how she handles them and everything. And as someone who has grown up in like a predominantly black neighborhood, like, I know how certain phrases sound when they're spoken in a certain way. And it was just one of those things where I was just like, this is very much giving someone writing outside their race. And then I had looked into it and I found out that that is exactly what was happening. And so I was kind of a little thrown off by that too, because I was able to pick up on it. So all of these things like factored in together, but mainly my main problem was the audiobook. Like the audiobook for that is just so bad and it's so frustrating. And then like I was on Goodreads and there was a couple people that were just like, who greenlit this audiobook? Like this thing is garbage. So I know I'm not the only one. So yeah, little sad about that. But those are the ones that I got through. So I'm at least happy that the one that I went to the library for specifically to get, because I had put it on hold, which was Hecate. I'm so glad that I ended up loving that one. I still have 3 more, which is A Land So Wide, which I read the prologue. Definitely dug the prologue. The Lost Boys of Barlow Theater. This one is a very like could be, could not be, you know. And then The Society of Unknowable Objects, which I still strongly think that I am going to really like this one because I loved his other book. And I'm still saving that one for last. Because I am like really kind of hoping that like if I start strong, maybe I can end strong and everything in the middle is just meh. But I am really hoping that A Land So Wide will continue to live up to its prologue. It was really well written. You know, I liked the way it came off. I liked the way that it sounded, the writing and everything. I do not know. I put the audiobook on hold. And my library was like a few weeks or something, so I don't know if it's gonna end up coming in before I finish it, but I am at least interested in like what the prologue has told me so far. So I would say out of these 7, apparently I know myself best when I purposely look into a book. You know, a lot of times I do find books just like kind of like on the whim while searching around in the library. It is one of my favorite things to do, and they're not always going to be winners, but at least I gave them a try. I feel with Moth Eater, I feel if I had decided to read it myself, my reaction probably would have been different, but like I said, my interest has been soured because of the audiobook narrator. I don't know who greenlit that, but they should go back to the drawing board and try again. So that's how far I got. So mind you, I checked these out last week, and so that was just over the course of like 5 days, because I think I was able to get them on a Thursday or a Wednesday. I forget which day it was, and so that's just over the course of a couple of days that I was able to get through 2 of them all the way, and then I DNF'd 2 of the other ones, and then I did not do any reading yesterday. No, I did do reading yesterday, but I finished reading an arc. So, you know, that's what happens when you read multiple books at one time. You end up, you know, finishing books all over the place, and sometimes they don't go along with the reading vlog that you're trying to put together. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to obviously return those 4 and then continue with these 3, so I'll give you guys updates on those ones hopefully in the next video. But hopefully this vlog was interesting. Hopefully it kind of works. You know, hopefully you guys enjoyed any of the little videos that I inserted. They were all videos from when I went to Oregon to visit my bestie. I didn't take a lot of video footage while I was out there because where she's at, there's really not much going on. She's like in the middle of nowhere in Oregon. And so some of the footage was from the train rides that we took there, and then the footage of me and my daughter on the carousel, because they have a carousel museum out there, which is pretty cool. So yeah, not a whole lot of video footage, but at least there's some stuff in between. I am trying this vlogging thing for the first time, so we're seeing how it goes, and it's definitely different for me. So let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know if any of these books had sounded interesting to you guys. If you guys are looking forward to my thoughts on any of the other 3 that are still left that I have to read. And yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. So until next time, bye.